Today, I am going to play against George Kegel, aka Compacta D, in the KFPL. Um, and we are delayed by a couple of minutes. We're probably delayed by about 20 minutes or so. The previous match is wrapping up, and Jupiter wants to record this game. So we are going to delay. I was just going to talk about my decks and talk about the decks Compacta D is bringing. So I need to go scrounge those up real quick. And let's hop over to the KFPL Discord and see if we can find the decks. Zarf, hello. Yeah, another day, Fortunes of Keys. It's gonna go right through. Gonna go over the prelude again. Playing against Compacta D, George Kegel, in the KFPL. We are delayed. We're supposed to be starting right about now, but we are delayed by about 20 minutes. The previous match the Jupiter was recording is running a little bit late, so he's asked that we delay just a little bit. So I was gonna go over my decks. I was gonna go look over George's decks, and I was trying to find George's stuff. So um, and right now we've got open chat, but once the game begins, I'm going to swap the chat over to emote only for the course of the games, and then we will swap the chat back. So once the games are finished to discuss the match and whatnot. KFPL doesn't want any kind of coaching coming from chat or anything like that. I don't think it's necessarily I don't think it's in the player's interest to always take advice from chat, but I do like the discussion and whatnot about plays. I know um, typically on our channel we like to discuss the plays more. So, but I think the emote only is a good compromise. Justin and I wanted to do the stuff live, and I think a delay is not really conducive to the watching environment, right? You want to see the stuff. You want to be able to react to it in real time, and I want to be able to react to reactions. So, yeah. Anyway, yep. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to mute while I crack my soda. Okay. Oh my god. Get out of here. I don't know. It's all in an Excel spreadsheet. I don't have Excel on this computer? This is embarrassing. Guess I gotta put it up in the G drive. Oh my god. Stop. 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 Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, so these are George's decks. So if you've watched the stream, you're going to be familiar with my decks. I've got Andres, the Curator of Hyberb. This is the deck that won our Worlds Collide tournament. Um, and I've done some playing with it. I think it is a solid adaptive deck. There's some non-linear lines of play in the deck, and it's kind of weak to big boards. But there's it's just a lot of fun to play too. I thought that was going to be fairly important for this tournament. I want to put decks into the lineup that I actually want to play. I also put in Nibirius, the Apologically Meaningless. This is a fairly fast deck. This is the deck that won our AOA tournament. Light on Amber Control. However, that's fine for this, right? This is since this is adaptive. No big deal if your deck doesn't have Amber Control. Because if it loses both games, then you're gonna bid chains for the deck in or you're bid chains for the opponent's deck. And a fast deck like this likes to win or has the ability to win against a deck that's got some chains. And then finally, I included Ardreth. So I played this deck yesterday. I went 3-5 with it in the Glorious U. Wasn't totally happy with my performance. But I think I discovered some really bad cards and matchups for this deck. And it was a pretty good. I mean, you don't get better testing than something like the Glorious U. So I hate that I finished 3-5. However, I have a much better idea of what Ardreth is good and bad against. So I have those are my three choices. Now, George, I think all of his are mass mutation decks. So we can actually take a look here. Card draws on this. Logos with Zinzi, Smoko. No, this is actually a lot of creatures, right? Cyberclone, Angry Mob. So this looks like a mid-tier. This feels like a mid-tier mass mutations deck. And one that we've kind of played similar decks with on stream, right? Angry Mob and One Stood Against Mini, just to be able to get all your Angry Mobs. One Stood Against Mini Munchling is a combo too. Not a lot of Amber Control outside of Capture, like on Observe You Maxes and whatnot. And then Garcia is pretty good with capturing. Got a red alert to wipe the board. You've got a standardized testing as well. So Cleansing Wave could be pretty deadly in this deck, just because you'll end up with a lot of damage all over the place. And then we've got Ikari of Portal Wingapo Course, sorry, and Stormstrong. How's it going? Two Manals of the Zealot, certainly interesting. A Saurian Egg. Let's take a look at the enhancements real quick. Damage on Tachyon Pulse, a Gorvanol with a capture, Burning Glare with a damage, Defense Initiative with a capture, and then Consul Primus with a damage. So nothing too crazy enhanced there. We are delayed by a little bit. We'll be starting up pretty soon. I'm just running through the pre-match, waiting for Jupiter. He's apparently recording another game before this. So I told him we could probably wait for him to finish up. So anyway, that's what we got here. Sanctum Saurian Star Alliance. Sanctum Saurian, do we have the really good synergies here? Exiles, yeah, that's pretty good with Gorvanol, right? Like you fight a bunch of times, and put a bunch of Amber on Gorvanol, then exile it. That's pretty good. And then his last deck is the Khan of Metrogate, another Sanctum Saurian deck, with some logos. Let's take a look at the enhancements here. We've got Grey Rider, draw a card, Gizzleheart's Zealot with a draw a card, Spirit Sway with a damage pip, Opposition Research and Munchling with damage pips, an Amber Icon, and a card draw on a Curse of Vanity, and then a card draw on Pterodactyl. This feels like an M4 Captura, maybe? No, just lots of infomorphs to get all that card draw. So, Okay. Um, so yeah, these look like a lot of the mass mutation decks that we have been playing on stream in the first round. Maybe so I don't see anything super broken here. That could be a good sign for adaptive, right? Now I've Justin and I have a ton of experience with mass mutations at this point, so I've got a feeling I could probably play these decks relatively comfortably. It doesn't look like they have like really any super broken combos or synergies in them, at least on the first glance. We do get to see how George plays this stuff, um, and first, now I am leaning towards using Ardreth for most of my games because I feel like this is the hardest deck to pilot. Nibirius is pretty straightforward. Once you get to the point where you're bidding chains, I think that's where the Nibirius I think can win or lose really quickly. And if the matchup is bad, I don't think it matters how you play Nibirius. I don't think you can win the game. Um, and then Andres, same, just another fast deck. I think Andres is a little bit more difficult to pilot than Nibirius. There's some tricky stuff with Nibirius because you've got the BDQ and the Archimedes, and so sometimes you have to decide between whether you want to actually archive your creatures or put them in the discard pile with the exhumes. Um, so, and the Brobnar I think is a little difficult to use in this deck because of a number of things. Honestly, the um, just rock hurling giant is good, but the Brobnar itself doesn't come out of the hand and generate a lot of amber. You've got some bursty plays with Blood Money and the ability to like use the rock hurling giant or a Gengar chieftain to get that amber really quickly. Into the Fray and Grok honestly is also one of the better ways to um, uh, uh, just control some amber, especially if they have a bunch of elusive creatures. You can fight with Grok into like 3 elusive creatures and make them lose 3, and then fight those elusive creatures and make them lose even more. So, um, but Ardreth is the deck that I think is the hardest to pilot and does the best when it has chains, because Dr. Millie, the stuff with Tau Tau Vapors and Igor are just they're really effective ways to um, get a burst of cards early in the game or to get deeper into the deck to get to the point where you're finding some of the combos. I'm probably gonna just select Ardreth. I don't really know the full process yet. Um, so just saying out loud what I'm thinking when it comes to this matchup. I After playing yesterday, Ardreth seems a little weaker to mass mutations than I thought it was going to be. Now, George hasn't brought the mass mutation stuff that is pretty good against Ardreth. Radpenny in particular gave me fits yesterday because Ardreth doesn't have like a clean way to get rid of Radpenny. Um, but um, the sanctum in uh, Worlds Collide can present problems if it can develop a board. Cards like Barrister Joya aren't particularly great for me. So if you develop a board of like 3 Sanctum creatures and just reap over and over again, then I feel like that is a pretty good strategy. I need to actually fix my screen here. Is no longer the glorious you. We are KFPL. Kelly's Unique. How's it going? Okay. There we go. I got the layout looking a little bit crisper. Um, so Jupiter sent me a message about 5 minutes ago saying he's almost done. I anticipated it was going to take about 20 minutes past the start time. Just a heads up, I am planning on switching the chat over to emote only during the match. That was, I think, a fair compromise that was reached between us, just to eliminate any doubt of any kind of coaching from chat or whatever. Not that I expected to receive a lot of coaching from chat. Not that I expected the stuff. Yeah, there you go. That's great. Um, yeah, it's perfect. That's why we got the BTTV in there. So, um, yeah, it was worth all that effort Justin put into it just to get him going. So yeah, I don't know which of these decks he anticipates playing. This looks to be. This looks to have the combos that are stronger. Yeah, I didn't get coached at all. If I got coached, I didn't even notice it. I was like locked into those games. I usually would try to like interact with chat more. So, Ellie, how's it going? Just hanging out today, this morning. Format today is adaptive. They added a little twist to it. For this league, you get three decks that are your portfolio basically, and you choose one of those to play after looking at your opponents. So, yeah, exactly. Right. Our system of uh, calling house 1, 2, and 3 emotes language will never be cracked. But yeah, you get to pick which deck you want to play. I think ultimately everybody's going to pick the same deck over and over and over again. But we'll see. We'll see if there's a difference there. I just realized you can't read anything on the white background there. Yeah, all these tiny pictures are barely legible and very annoying. Thank you, Archer. Yeah, this will be a quick stream. Well, compared to yesterday, I mean, yesterday was 7+ hours. This stream will probably be about an hour and a half. The match itself is only about 80 minutes, or the time limit is only 80 minutes. Um, um, so uh, the don't plan on doing this all day. But I will be back later tonight, where when I do the open games with chat. So that'll be fun. Appreciate you dipping by. You're here for the high end Keyforge, Dave. That's good. Congrats on the top 16. Wish I could have made the cut, but I think I made the wrong meta call. I think we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but format tonight. So what we'll do tonight, it'll just be Archon. Just bring whatever you want to bring, but I'll be playing decks from the Gauntlet. So every time we play, you want to start again? Yeah, a lot less punishing schedule today compared to yesterday. So. Okay. So hang on, I gotta. Approximo, thank you for that follow. Hyper, how's it going? Yeah, just to reiterate, some new people trickling in. I will be swapping the game, or we'll be swapping chat over to email only mode once the game actually starts. And but otherwise, we will be live, and I'll swap it back once the games are finished to chat about stuff. I do want to like give you my thought process as we go. So yeah, Snufflegators, flexing Snufflegators, flexing Eddies. Um, so fishes, yep, that's good. Cat jams. If you tab, it'll autocomplete for you, so that the cat will actually jam. There you go. Sometimes the capitalization is weird, but it matters. So the BT TV increases the enjoyment of Twitch by a factor of a lot. So yeah. So I mean that was the thing. Yeah, Tanties. There you go. That's the thing about programming is that like for a computer, case sensitivity matters. You have to like put some stuff. So so we I can't remember if we were playing with hidden hands. Uh, I think I may have to set up something to hide my hand. Yeah. So I mean I did QA stuff, right? So case sensitivity was one of those things that you had to practice. I also did a lot of like I my favorite thing to try to find was like cross-site scripting and injection vectors and stuff like that. So um okay, yeah. I'll cover the hand. I'll need to make some sort of element. Let's see. I'm gonna Storm, if you're available, let's let me or first person in here. Password is TTR. We're just gonna set up the game so that I can uh, we're not gonna play. I'm just gonna set it up so I can block the hand. Since they're worried about that. But yeah. It's lowercase TTR, I should say. Username like a third 444. Alright, I'm just gonna... Okay, I just need a bar of some sort. And I'm coordinating, okay, Jupiter's here. Alright, just gotta add some sort of, I just need a image color source. Okay, this is just hex. Add source, color source, yeah. We are gonna go with the classic all black. Let's resize this. Hey, wait, why are you a square? I don't want you to be a square. Oh, height and width. Is there a way to make it not a square? Let's see. So I need it to be about oh, this is telling me the length from width, height. Tell me 118. So this is like 200. Oh yeah, let's go. 400 is about right. So we'll make it 175. Put that right over the hand. Okay. We'll shrink it down a little bit more. 160. 150. Put it over the hand. I think we'll have all the information. I'll adapt it as we go. We'll shrink it down once more. 135. Okay, I think that's clean. All right, so, or about as clean as it's going to get. Hopefully, if my hand gets large or whatever through the game, it won't extend over that. But that is that. Okay, so let's go back. All right, we have met that requirement. Hand is covered. Let's see. Yep, no problem. Got it all squared away. I mean, we're trying to. I figured the first week will be the one that's got the most problems. Once we get the troubleshooting done and out of the way, then it'll roll from here pretty smoothly. So, okay, thank you, Storm. That was needed. I'll jump out of the game now. All right, I think we're about ready to get underway. Let's close out all those decks. Jupiter, I believe. Um, I think we're ready to go. So. All right. I'm gonna swap the chat over to emote only now, and so can't. There you go, and the game will start pretty soon, I think. Yeah, not like this. Think we're getting it squared away. You know, flexing snuffles. This Eddie looking the wrong way as usual. I guess I can go ahead and make the game. I need to know if I was showing hands. I think I am showing hands. Should actually. Okay. So if you wanted to see my hand throughout this process, do remember to check out the KFPL YouTube. That is going to be up on YouTube. I'm not sure what the schedule for these. I think he's just getting them up as fast as possible. I'm not sure if any editing is being done. Okay, I will say Jupiter saying it's going to take a couple days. So. I think I fat fingered the password. Oh, I see it playing against Jupiter. Oh, I'm not playing against Jupiter. All right, now while George is in. All right, so yep, just like I said, I am just going to run back Ardreth, and we'll jump into the game. Let's see, when does time begin? First card drop. Cool. Okay. We'll hit him with the GLHF. We are gonna start. Okay, first card drop is when the timer begins, so I am gonna take a couple minutes. Sanctum. Okay, so is playing the Logos Sanctum Star Alliance ones, the Angry Mobs and the One Stood Against Mini deck. The card draw was on One Stood Against Mini, and the card draw was on a Star Alliance card, I think. Zenzik is bad if we just let it hang out and play. Effervescent is something we have to look for. Forge Compiler is something we have to look for. Forge Compiler was a card that was not particularly... I didn't really want to play against Forge Compiler yesterday. Blast Shielding, Observe You Max, Tinks. The Star Alliance stuff is stuff I think I can deal with. Red Alert is something I can obviously play around. But it does look like... Cyberclone is something I have to watch out for because he can Cyberclone my Infernuses. So I need to be mindful of that. I need to try to protect the Infernuses when I can. Oh, he's also got a Smite, so... I think so. I think he's watching. And we'll see if there's any confirmation. So quick review. Okay, Jupiter's here. We'll start the game. Who won the roll? I am the first player. I don't hate this hand. This is not a bad hand to start with. Do I think I can do better? I kind of want the Infernuses late, I think. I think I want a more proactive hand. This is very reactive. There's a lot of stuff I'm not going to use. Like, this Untamed is kind of difficult to play with, right? Like, I can't play this Murmook turn 1 because he'll shoot himself. So I think I am just going to mulligan this hand. We'll see if we can find some logo stuff. Okay, Telltale Vapor's Millie is actually pretty good. I can also run out, like, the turn 1 Eterome, because Eterome there, mousing over them shows them. Oh, hey, oh, sorry. I can probably avoid that. Yeah, I'll try to avoid that. So yeah, and I forget. I'm used to yesterday being able to see my hand. I think I am going to keep this hand though. So I will start things off with Dis. Clock has started, and I'll play Eterome. And that is that. Bizarro David. Appreciate that, dude. Okay, it's running out of Lay of the Land. He's going to get to look at the top 3. Oh, tier 3. I missed that. We really appreciate that. Now you got the gavel. Now you can drop the gavel on people. Transporter platform and Observe You Max. Okay. So what I don't think I want to do is let him untap with all the Star Alliance stuff. If I Murmook both, I don't know if I actually want to run out the Fangtooth, because then I have to kill one of my own creatures. Is the Fangtooth discardable? I think so. He's got like Q-Mex and stuff like that. It would be nice to be able to pick off stuff, but I think I've got enough removal that I could probably just discard the Fangtooth here. And I may be able to get back through my deck. But I really don't want any sort of transporter platform shenanigans to occur. Okay. We've got a handful of logos now, so I'm very likely to move into logos. Forge compiler, a bot booked in, discarding an effervescent, discarding a dimension door, taking a hand cleansing turn. Yeah, hand cleansing turn sounds good. We'll just trade turns of not doing much. We're gonna run out the anomaly exploiter. I will Tao. Okay, so I think it's very likely that the oh, I can actually, yeah. I didn't even process the code monkey being drawn. I archived a Deepwood Druid there, so we'll get the code monkey down between the Mermooks, so I can play those again later. And then I'll just run out these Dr. Millies, just to have something to reap with. Worst case scenario too, I can always crash a Dr. Millie into one of his creatures and then anomaly exploit it as well. Okay, so our hand. I've got my hand set up fairly well here. You can't see it, but we got some stuff brewing. Okay, so played Red Alerts, killed a bunch of stuff. Running out of Stealthster. Puts an Observe You max. Oh, okay. It's going to get the transporter platform. Okay, I'm very likely going to go into Dis on my next turn. What if he's deciding what to put the Observe You max on? Enhancements and transporter platform is very much a combo. Just good, solid value. Transporter platform is just an iconic Star Alliance card at this point. It's kind of like the Chota Hazri, or it's something that, like, when it's missing from a faction, when transport platform's not reprinted, I'm not sure how the faction would play. Okay, so we are gonna say Dis. We are gonna reap with Edorum. No in the archives. Reap with Edorum. I will kill the Stealthster here. I am gonna play Infernus. And I think we're gonna take everything from him. Definitely taking these enhancements. I think he is primed for a Sanctum turn. Run back out Infernus. We are going to take out... May as well take out Lay of the Land. And I'm going to get Effervescent while I'm at it. And what I'm going to do now is Hysteria one more time. But we're not actually going to replay this Infernus. We're going to play 2 Eterooms and a Lilithal. And we're going to hold the Infernus because I don't want him to cyberclone me. Cyberclone an Infernus. Okay, he's moved into Sanctum. If he plays a bunch of Sanctum here, then I'm likely to go back into Dis. Free markets for 3. It's a lot of amber. Free markets is a card that's kind of bad against me. I wonder if he opts to fight. He used Angry Mob, and he milled himself a bunch of cards. Um, milled the standardized testing, which is good news. I think that was his other big board wipe. And he cleansing waved and got a bunch of amber. Okay, plays another angry mob. Plays one stick against Mini. Milled Barrister Joya. Plays another angry mob. Okay. So he's milled a bunch. I think he, at this point, he's very likely to have the cyber clone. And I think with both Hysterias gone, I think I'm actually fine losing the cyber clone, or losing an Infernus to cyber clone here. Or I can actually, yeah. Well, let's go into Untamed, and we'll pick up the archives, and I can Murmook the angry mob. And we can Deepwood Druid to heal our Eterome. We'll Cauldron Boil. We'll Murmook again. Actually, we'll hold off on the Murmook. We will play the Bramble Links. And then we'll Murmook. Okay. That'll let him forge for 8. So we made him pay max price for that key. Well, we haven't exposed our Infernus to the Cyberclone. And, yeah. Playing a QMX, drawing. He's likely going to shuffle his deck back in this turn. The Angry Mob's just kind of milled himself to the point where that was going to happen. Bot Bookton, yep. Munchling, yep. Okay. He's opted not to Cyberclone there. Maybe he just drew it. So I think what happens then is we do go into Dis, and I'll take the opportunity to Infernus while we're going to Reap and kill Munchling, I guess. He doesn't have any cards. We'll Festering Touch. We're not going to kill the QMX. We will Infernus while we've got access to his whole deck. And we're going to take out some problems. I wonder if it's free markets. Free markets I feel like is a definite. And then it's either Cleansing Wave or Commandeer. Maybe even standardized testing. Maybe the Red Alert. Could be the one stood against Mini. I think we'll get the... I could also get Garcia. I think Garcia I care about the least. I think Red Alert, honestly. I think that's the one that can hurt me the most. So we'll just get those two. Okay, and then we're done. Hopefully this has priced him back into Logos. And he takes like a suboptimal Logos turn to Cyberclone the Infernus. Yeah, he's going back into Logos. QMX is fighting Eterome. Does he have damage? He may have, yeah, so he's got Diametric Charge. Plays his Zinzi Zinzik. Also fighting the QMX off the table to get the Zinzi to the part where, okay, yeah, so he has purged, sure. Reaps with Bob Bookton has no deck to play, right? That's why we can leave her alive there. Okay, so he draws up. He's got an 8-card hand. This is where we take a Logos turn. Yeah, we'll just take a Logos turn here. We'll play the Crazy Killing Machine. I think this Crazy Killing Machine's solid in this matchup. We'll play the Quantum Finger Trap. We are going to play the Cutthroat Research. We are going to play Igor. And Furnace Feathered Shaman, a natural selection. I will put the Infernus into my hand. Alright, we are going to Thorium Plasmate. I guess it's got to be the Zinzik. We will move it next to the Cyberclone to the left. And then we are going to Twin Bolt to get the Zinzi and the Cyberclone. And then we will Anomaly Exploit to kill Bot Bookton. Okay, that puts us at 10. He's definitely in a spot where he can Forge Compile. If he drops like a bunch of Sanctum stuff, unfortunately he's got 8 cards in hand. I don't really want him to play a lot of Sanctum stuff and then Forge Compile. That would be kind of a debacle. We at least have an unnatural selection to take out a bunch of stuff. We also have some plays with Dis that we can set up. I do think at this point I've stripped out some of the most deadly stuff in the deck, and we can proceed to try to like just kind of take them apart from here. And I did my best. It looks like actually I purged too many. I purged too many Star Alliance cards. I may try to focus on purging some logo stuff. If I get his deck down to just Sanctum, I think I'm fine with that. Since his big stuff has been kind of whittled away. Okay, opting to go into Star Alliance. Not a ton of creatures he could play, but he could play Chan. He could play Tink. He still has a Blast Shielding left. Pete. I wonder if Pete's going to discard anything. All right, does get some transporter platform value there. Scout Pete's actually one of my favorite Star Alliance cards in this set. I wonder if Chan gets the Blast Shielding now. Yeah, makes sense. If he's got one more Star Alliance creature, it'll feel kind of bad, but I think for the most part, it's fine here. All right, we will forge yellow. He will get to, yeah, he'll get to Forge Compile. We've got, if I Reap with Eterome, I have to kill. I can Thorium Plasmate. If I Reap with Eterome, I have to kill an untamed creature. I don't have anything in my archives. We got 4 cards left in the deck. I think this is a Dis turn. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a Dis turn. I can exhume my Code Monkey. to get my Mermooks. Okay. And then we can reap with Eterome to at least take the ward off the Cyberclone. And then I can Infernus. And I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to get we get Cauldron Boil and Fangtooth. I honestly think Fangtooth is probably bad in this matchup. And then we could play a Lilithal. His creatures are all kind of like medium power, right? We get to go to check. We get to say check with 6. Now he can... So the warding actually stops him from transporter platforming. Now he could fight, and I think that's fine if he chooses to fight me. Typically, when my opponents are choosing to fight my creatures, that is my opponent in a position I want them to be in. He's he purified his own cyber clone. Very interesting. Plays an angry mob. Plays an angry mob. Plays another angry mob. Okay. All right, so I'll get this key. I think this is a good Untamed turn. Because I can Unnatural Selection. So that's what we'll do. We'll move into Untamed. Put the Archives into my hand. Yep. And we will reap with the Deepwood Druid. Sure, we'll hold the Eterome, getting that Deepwood Druid value. We're going to play Unnatural Selection. We're going to choose to play Unnatural Selection today, unlike the punt I did yesterday. We're going to select my 3 disc creatures. Done. And we're going to select Angry Mob. We will select Scout Pete, and we will select another Angry Mob. And everybody else can die. This gets those creatures back into my discard pile. And then we're going to drop some Mermooks. We're going to take out Commander Chan, I think. And then we'll take out an Angry Mob. All of his Angry Mobs are in the discard pile, so he could choose to... deploy left of Infernus. All his Angry Mobs are in the discard pile, so he can like mill himself if he chooses to fight that Angry Mob. I just don't think I don't think he's in like a good place to do that. Okay. All right, so I've managed to angle him. I've angled him into the board position that I want, right? Like I've got a table full of creatures. His keys cost $1 million. He's got a QMX in the Archives. I've taken out a lot of the problematic cards. He's going back into Sanctum. He could set up a big cleansing wave here. Plays Commandeer. Okay, yeah. See, that's definitely something we wanted to get rid of earlier. He'll Angry Mob. I don't have a ton of Amber, so he can't like stop me necessarily. Opting to crash Scout Pete into a Mermook. He's deciding whether to keep the top card of his deck. Damages the other Mermooks. Having Angry Mob, Angry Mob's fighting the Deepwood Druid. This is definitely a cleansing wave. This signals to me cleansing wave, absolutely. I don't think you keep... Yeah, exactly. Okay, so he's at 6. Can I threaten? Reap, reap. Puts me to 2. Unnatural selection to kill the Mermooks puts me to 3. I get the 2 off of... So I can threaten this turn. I think I go for the win. I think I try to close out this game. So I am going to say Untamed. We're going to reap with the Mermook. Reap with this Mermook. We'll give him the key for 6. We'll make our stand on the final key if it comes to that. But I think a lot of his big answers are gone. We're going to keep our disc creatures alive. We'll keep his creatures alive. Oh, crap. I was thinking, no, I don't threaten here. That was a misplay on my part. I completely bungled this. I was thinking his guys would die to the unnatural selection. We will fight away the angry mob. And we'll play Rustnar. Yeah, I was thinking his guys would die for some reason. I don't even know idea. I completely spaced. Yeah, would have definitely have loved to have made him pay more for this key. Moving into Logos. Not terribly afraid of his Logos at this point. I think we are set up to win, to checkmate him with like Dis on the next turn. He's playing a Smoko. This feels like dumping stuff. Plays a Diametric Charge, sure thing. Looks like he did opt to mill himself with the angry mobs. Okay, gonna go into Dis. We've got 3 Dis creatures. So I think I actually just fight and Furnace into Scout Pete. That gives me the option to Exhume it. I can then Reap with Eterome. I don't really want to kill either of these. I think killing the Q-Mex is better than the Smoko. We can Reap with Lilithal. I can Binding Irons him. I can Exhume and Furnace. We'll just get some cards out of his deck, I guess. We'll get Scout Pete and Angry Mob. I don't think those matter. And then we can a fair game. Get 2 Amber. I give him to... I say check with 10. Even Transporter Platform Garcia doesn't stop me. Yeah, he doesn't have any capture, so... He's left the game, Jupiter. Okay. And this needs to be reversal. think I made it so that hands can be seen. I don't know how many of this works. Remake until it happens. Okay. Classic. He is the first player. All right. Remaking. Can we not manual mode this? Whatever. Show hands, reversal. It's classic workarounds. Honestly, playing Keyforge Online reminds me of playing like games on the internet like 15, 20 years ago, where you had to like do all these workarounds and whatnot to get to the game to the game that you actually wanted to play. Which reminds me of playing like private servers for MMOs and whatnot. He is the first. Oh my god. That's lol worthy. I guess we could concede and rematch. Yeah. Well, the problem is rematch kicks out spectators. That's the problem here. Is if you use the rematch feature, you can't spectate. And so Jupiter wants to spectate so that he can actually record the games, put commentary over it. So the rematch feature, you can't spectate those games for whatever reason. It just blows them up. So we'll just listen to this horn like 5 or 6 times. All right, can we do it? Back to D has won the flip. We can't. I can't beat George's coin boss. Reversal. The coin flip boss. Oh. We'll do one more try. George didn't want to keep doing it, so. I may have fat fingered a key. How many games can I start and leave in a matter of 5 minutes? Okay, well, he won that one. With no chains, etc. best of one it? Can we manual mode? Is there a manual mode entry? Does anybody know? / first player / active player. Nope. No way around it. Gotcha. Does let's see if does he just want to settle for going first? Just hand, yeah, the hand size is in the card draw, right? Like he gets to see an extra card. I think he's ready. He's just opting to go first, so. Okay. Try, okay, okay, so we're settling on trying. Okay, so one try, best of one, then. For science. For science, okay. We've agreed. So new game. Adaptive best of one. Okay. Show hands. No way around it. First player with 7 cards does / discard one, then put the top. Okay, it's a lot of discard one at random. I am playing Capechi. Ah. Mulligans have to be done manually. Gross. That's all gross. Okay, anyway, starting the game. We finally got there. Yeah. Good luck. Have fun. Okay, we got to keep in mind we're playing against Ardrith. Barrister Joy is a very important card. Forge Compiler is a very important card. QMEX is a very important card. So I am going to keep my hand, and I am going to say Logos, and I'm going to jam this QMEX. QMEX is there to provide me value for the rest of the game. Okay. He's opting to go with Dis. Plays Binding Irons. That sucks, but what can it be? Hysteria's the QMEX. Interesting. Festering Touches. Okay. So, this is actually, I think this is the board state that we want then. We want 3 creatures that we can reap with on repeat. So we count them right there. We play the Joya. We play the Angry Mob. We play the other Angry Mob. And then we smite. We'll do the Joya for style points. The Joya is going to reap. Okay. Now he can Murmook a bunch, very likely at this point. Opting to take out the Joya. That's fair. Joya is the boiled her alive, yeah. He discarded Unnatural Selection. He could have gotten an Amber from that, but we will go into Logos We're going to play the QMEX to try to offset the chains a little bit. We are going to forge compile. And we will play the Smoko. Okay. Cyberclone, that's a good pull. He's opted to go into Logos. Crazy Killing Machine comes down. That could certainly get some value over the course of the game. Ooh, Dr. Millie. I did kind of play into Dr. Millie there. I'll let him archive 3. Like, he could set up a big disc turn that way. He's already run out 1 Hysteria. Okay. Cyberclone. I feel like we have to Cyberclone in Furnaces. At this point, though, I don't mind reaping twice, cybercloning a Murmook. Yeah, I think we want to get the value from the creatures we have on the table. He doesn't have a way to kill the Cyberclone in Dis right now. And purging a Murmook here is nice. That does set us up to like it gets this is Amber control in this deck. Now he can Murmook the Cyberclone. He opted to Murmook an Angry Mob. Interesting. Okay. This honestly feels like this is a Star Alliance turn. Let's make some progress through the deck. He's much deeper into his. He's got a big... I'm sure this is all Dis. We're going to lay the land. Commandeer, Champion and National Munchling. We'll take the Commandeer. Oh my god, I put him in the wrong order. Okay, it doesn't matter because I can't play the card. I'm gonna end up drawing all these anyway. Okay. We'll play the Stealther onto the Cyberclone. We're gonna put the Observe You Max onto the QMEX. And then we'll run out the Garcia. Tell him to go ahead. Yeah, this feels like a big Dis turn. Just go straight into the Hysteria. Must not have an Infernus. Adoram comes out. Lilithal comes out. Other Lilithal comes out. Oh, wow. Okay, so he played a fair game. He gained 5 and I gained 4. So I stand by that play. Oh man, we are in the KFPL now. We are in the KFPL now, viewers. All right, we're gonna say Logos. We're gonna run back out the QMEX. Blast shielding. This is a good hit. We're gonna play all of this Logo stuff. We're actually going to purge Eterome here, I think. Lilithal is the biggest creature in that deck. So there is definitely an argument to keep the Lilithals around because of my standardized testing. Purging Eterome is kind of whatever, but especially when I play all of this logo stuff, Eterome can just reap and kill whoever he wants. We want all this logo stuff on the table because we'll get the Forge compile and keep him around. He'll Forge right here. If he does not kill all my guys, and he's got 2 Mermigs, so he can kill like 1 creature. If he does not kill all my creatures, I'm just reaping with logos. Yeah, Bob Bookton's got to go. Unfortunately. We're going to hold this Sanctum stuff until all this stuff goes away. He's actually getting a lot of... This is actually scary. He's gotten rid of 1 unnatural selection, though, and he discarded the Fangtooth earlier. Oh, he discarded the Fangtooth to the fair game. So if I read with my 4 logos, he has to like Infernus to stop me. If I go into Sanctum, I think I just reap with my 4 logos here. I wish I had a card to play, but I'm ahead. It's unlikely that he takes a decent Untamed turn here. He doesn't really want to fight me, right? Okay, so he's going into Logos. Okay. Oh, he could... he's playing Tao, so he can Cutthroat Research me, which will suck. Not really much I could do about that now. He's got 10 cards left in the deck. There's a chance he doesn't have it, but he's seen a lot, right? He's got a pretty good chance of hitting it. He's Twin Bolting. He can actually do a lot of damage here. Now, if he does kill a lot of my creatures, I am priced into Sanctum on the following turn, at least. He's opted to kill the Munchling. We kind of want to save this Garcia to force him to pay more for the key. Uses Crazy Killing Machine, destroys Cyberclone. Plays an Igor. He almost certainly has the Cutthroat now. Almost certainly has it. Yeah, hits the Cutthroat. Makes sense. Only has 6 cards left. Real good chance. Playing the Code Monkey, probably putting the Mermix back. Opts to keep 1 Mermuk in play. Just to make it so that I can't Forge, right? Okay. So I think we go with Sanctum here. Play Commandeer. We play Anaphil. We'll capture on the Smoko. Purify has to hit my Smoko, but the ward will keep it from just dying. Play the Dino Knight. We do not want to use its ability. I don't think any of these creatures matter. So we don't want to use his ability. I think it's just like a free amber. We'll put the amber on the Dino Knight. Okay, we stopped him from forging. We've threatened again. Okay, red alert is good. Transport platform is good. Garcia is good. It's going into Dis. I feel the Infernuses. He has to have the Infernuses now. 3 cards in the archives, 2 of which are Murmooks. Or, sorry, Murmook and a Deepwood Druid. Lilithals are reaping to capture Amber. Infernus is coming down. And purging. Now, we actually might be in decent shape here. Have we seen the Exhume yet? We've not seen the Exhume, so he's still got the Exhume. Art Boy Moy, how's it going? Mertani? Titan's Oak. Purged some stuff. Yep, purging more stuff. Probably a lot of pips. I've worked so hard for that Amber. I worked so hard for it. All right, we're now at the point where if we get one more creature, he's got another Eteroom, right? Purges Commandeer and Purify. Red Alert will kill a lot of his creatures now. And we actually want him to draw so that all his creatures are in the discard pile. So he's not shuffling back in Code Monkeys and stuff like that. Exhume, cool. Exhuming what? An Eteroom. Okay. We got him. We're going to wipe the table. Actually wipe the table. One-sided Wrath of God. He is at 8. We're going to force him to pay 8 with the Garcia. And I think we're going to Blast Shield the Garcia as well. There's an argument to Blast Shield this Smoko. I would have put like an Amber on the QMEX at some point if I had realized how TCO works with Commandeer. So we're going to go into Star Alliance. Playing the Transport Platform. Playing the Red Alert. Throwing that all in the discard pile. Playing the Garcia. We're going to hide Garcia behind Champion Anaphyl. And then we're going to put Blast Shielding on the Smoko or Garcia. If we put it on Garcia, she's out of Murmook range. So I think that's what we do. Sugar. Okay. Plays Unnatural Selection. Yeah, Smoko's gone. I'll get an archived card at least. Garcia could die to the selection. It possibly kills one of the big creatures as well. Okay, goes to 4 Amber. That's dangerously close. Keeps Garcia around. Interesting. Plays 2 Unnatural Selections. Plays a Murmook. Dumps some damage into Anaphyl. Maybe a Cauldron Boil. Finish off the Anaphyl. Plays Rustnar. Sure. Feathered Shaman. Okay. Makes sense. We haven't seen either of these. And a Deepwood Druid comes out as well. Another Deepwood Druid. Even after we killed all those creatures. Okay, so we don't forge because of the Murmook. If we go into Star Alliance, we can reap with Garcia. We can play the access denied onto her. We can then transporter platform her. We can then replay her. We can then play the blast shielding. We could play Tink and Chan. So I think that's a fairly solid turn. We'll get to draw 3. What's in my archives? Zinzik. Okay, he's irrelevant. I don't think he's not going to matter this game. So we'll go into Star Alliance. We're going to reap. No. Reap. No, done. Okay, and then we put the access denied onto her. We then transporter platform. Oh, it was actually a mistake. That was a mistake to play the Tink. I shouldn't have given the Rustnauer a free creature to fight. So that's a mistake. Now we've got Effervescent, so Effervescent may bail us out of that mistake. But this deck doesn't burst Amber a whole lot, so having the Effervescent is actually nice. So he can reap a bunch here. He can't reap enough to get past the transporter platform. He'd have to fight with the Rustnauer. Fighting with the Rustnauer is the same as reaping with the Rustnauer, because he could fight the Rustnauer into the Tink and kill the transporter platform. So that is something. We are down to 2 cards in the deck. Cleansing Wave and a 1-stat against Mini. Both of those would have been nice to have had earlier in the game. But yeah, we're not where that matters. It's opting to go with Untamed. Plays Fangtooth. Okay, so that'll get the QMEX, or like take the ward off the QMEX, but it does give him an Amber as well. Uses the Feathered Shaman to fight. Wait, what? Oh, it's Fight Reap word. Okay, cool. Yeah, Rustnauer takes up the transport platform. Like I said, it was a mistake to play Tink because he gets a free fight. Deepwood Druid reaps and heals the Rustnauer. Deepwood Druid reaps. Murmook reaps. Okay. I'll forge the blue key. We have to go into Logos. And I can actually fight the QMEX into something. Maybe the ward off the Deepwood Druid. So that way when I standardize testing, it'll kill the Feathered Shaman and my Anaphil, as opposed to nothing. I wish I had a way to kill this. Now, killing Anaphil here, is that fine? Yeah. I don't quite get the Zinzik. Effervescent's getting played, regardless. Right, like, we just have to get rid of the Amber here. QMEX fights the Deepwood Druid. We'll standardize testing. Play the Zinzik. play the Infomorph. Now, the shame is I draw these last 2 cards because I'm chained, and he's got the whole discard pile to Infernus if he wants. Which means I think I lose this game. Plays a Binding Iron's fine. He may be back around to the Exhume and Hysteria. Festering Touch to get some damage. If he doesn't threaten here, Exhume. Okay, he is threatening. If he's got a Hysteria, it's bad. Okay, out comes the Hysteria. Plays Infernus. Yeah, the only way to stay in the game is the Garcia, and then he can Murmook me back. Effervescent. Okay. Have to go into Star Alliance. I think this is deterministic at this point. Yeah, I think it ends up being deterministic because he can Murmook my Garcia. And I'm not seeing any new cards, so he knows I'm down to he knows I'm down to the Sanctum stuff. If I had had the Cleansing Wave and the free markets earlier in the game, we might have been able to close it out because that would have generated more amber than he could have dealt with, I think. Yeah, Murmook the Garcia. Yep. He's purged the Commandeer, so we can't even hope to draw the Commandeer off the one suit against Mini. I honestly think the mistake was the Tink letting... we'll play it out. Hit the free markets. And the funny thing is, I think if we could stop him here, we're actually in really good shape because I don't think he's got a good way to win or to stop me. We'll do the chain bidding here, I guess. So my deck won. It started 0 chains. Yeah. I agree with George. Let's use the bathroom, and we'll come back and bid chains. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So, for everybody following along, or if you're tuning in for the first time, George and I are 1-1 right now. Ardreth, the deck that I brought, has won, and in my opinion, this is the seat that you want to be in an adaptive match. You want to have brought the best deck because you will have had experience bidding chains on it at this point. Um, I am going to take the bidding kind of slow, I think, because I do think George's deck has the tools and draws that can beat Ardreth. I think that game was pretty close. I think there were several things that were in my favor in that matchup um, that I could identify at the time. But so I I'm going to take the bidding slowly. I don't want to say out loud what my maximum bid is right now, um, but um, I think we can. I think we can push it on chains because Ardreth does function fairly well with chains because the logos, as I said at the beginning of the stream, the logos help smooth draws out. Right, cards like Dr. Millie. If your opponent gets out to an early drop a bunch of creatures early, you can Dr. Millie archive 3 cards, and it's like you didn't even have any chains at that point, right? I don't know how much adaptive George has played. I know George has played a lot of Archon, and you know he's played a lot of Sealed. So chain bidding here, I think, will be interesting. I don't know if Uglock is watching right now, but Uglock and I have done a decent amount of testing. So I have a pretty I'm pretty comfortable when it comes to the number of chains that Ardreth can play with. And another reason to take Ardreth is because it has binding irons. So you'll occasionally, if Ardreth is the deck that lost both games, you can sometimes get into a position where you get to binding irons the opponent after they've already bid a lot of chains. So let's say they get they get Ardreth, or sorry, their deck wins and they select like 7 or 8 chains and they go first. They'll drop a chain, and then if you go early binding irons, you've now locked them in to having 2 cards down for several turns, and then going into 1 card down. So, yeah, it's this is good. I think this is an excellent start to the KFPL. Right, I think both those games are really good. That game I think was really close. If I misplayed a couple of times, right? I think if I had kept the captured amber on the QMEX, or put 1 captured amber on the QMEX, it took them a while for those QMEX to actually die. And if I had had the red alert slightly earlier in the game, after I red alerted, he responded by playing 5 creatures. So tough to say if the red alert was timed well or not. I didn't ever get the situation that I wanted where I could just keep 3 sanctum creatures on the board and reap a bunch of times. Probably would have been best to do that with logos with like Zinzik, because I would have had all those extra cards the whole time. So yeah, definitely a good start to the league. And this league, I don't think there's any shame in dropping matches in this league, because there's some absolute Keyforge assassins. Okay. Just gonna wait on George a little bit. Is George back? I guess he's back. He must have signaled to Jupiter. So, George gets the first bid. Like I said, I'm gonna tick it up slowly. We'll see. We'll see how George bids. If I do the F11, does that mess up the? Oh, that like the jumping around lets you see the hand. I'll have to keep all this stuff in mind for future recording. Or boy, flex those eddies. Player her up, flexing the eddies. I'm not sure he's back. Hyper flexing the eddies. Jupiter's been recording around the clock for these, so. We'll have to remake the game after this, but you just slip into manual mode. All right, he's back. I like to go first when you bid for chains. Or like when you are chained, if you are the person who has the chain deck. Either way, I like being the first person because going first is essentially getting rid of a free chain. He's bidding 7. George is bidding very aggressively. I will go 8. George comes flying out the gate. Caution to the wind. I'll confidently bid 8, ship it back to him. Yeah, that's some demonic Eddie right there. Or if he expected me to go 8. He's going 9. Do we think 10? 9 is the tilting point. That's 3 turns. I think we give it to him for 9. Okay. Yeah, I think we can give it to him for 9. I think both games were close enough. Okay. All right. So we'll do best of 1. Oh, 30 minutes on the clock. Oh, okay. I'll. Is there a use time limit in minutes 30? Adaptive. Okay, Ardreth. Okay, so we'll have 30 minutes left on the clock. I am on Capechi. I would like to be the first player. Clunky interface. Adaptive best of 1. Time limit 30. Jupiter complaining to me on Discord that this should be an easier thing to add to the Crucible. I would think it would be easy, right? Like you just there has to be something at the beginning of the game that you could manual mode or something. Okay, I'm the first player. Yeah. He goes up to 9 chains before the game begins. Setting his chains. Cryogen also said nothing you can manual mode. Oh god, he's gone too far. There's a little bit of lag there. 20 milliseconds. That's sorry, 20 seconds worth of lag. Okay, let's start the game. Transporter platform. We like to see it. We love to see it, folks. You love to see it. He has opted to mulligan. I'm going to keep the hand. We're going to jam Transporter platform. We're going to do everything in our power to keep Transporter platform alive because it generates more it generates more amber than pips that can be destroyed by pips that can be destroyed by Infernus. So we're going to keep this hand. We are going to jam Transporter platform. We're going to end the turn. Okay, he's down to a 3-card hand. Plays a Tau Vapors. That's pretty good to get through the chains. Plays Thorium Plasmate. Yep. Okay. We are going to go into Star Alliance. We're going to play my boy Scout Pete. Lay of the Land. Yeah, we'll leave Lay of the Land on top of the deck. That's a good card to get into, because I wanna jam as much of the Star Alliance stuff as I can. Play Commander Chan. We are gonna play Observe You Max. Oh, we gotta get out of manual mode. I don't think it'll matter. Okay, and we're going to pull back. Now, he could Murmook. He could Murmook, and that would suck. So I think we actually want to put the... We'll still leave the Lay of the Land on top of the deck. We'll still put the Observe You Max onto... we'll put it on Commander Chan. I think we value the Scout Pete more than we value the Commander Chan. Goes in Untamed. Since the Murmook. Plays the Murmook. Okay. Smokes Commander Chan. Plays a Bramble Lynx. Plays another... Ooh, 2 Murmooks. That was actually bad. Okay, but he doesn't have Rustnar right now. I think this is another Star Alliance turn. I don't have anything to fight with the 1 stood against mini yet. Like, I don't have any creatures to use with that. So we'll go into Star Alliance. We'll play the Lay of the Land. Free Markets, Dimension Door, Forge Compiler. Okay, so we want Dimension Door at the bottom, then Forge Compiler, then Free Markets. No, I don't want to end my turn. What are you talking about? We'll play Tink. We'll play the Stealthster. Okay, we'll end the turn. Yes. I think we're going to have to take a Logos turn. Get down the Forge Compiler, get down the Smoko, discard Dimension Door. Goes in Untamed. I imagine he's probably going to like reap and fight a bunch. Ooh, Fangtooth. Ooh. Okay, he is fighting a bunch. Okay. That's I think I'm fine with that. Okay, so we're going to go into Logos. Discard Dimension Door. Play the Forge Compiler. Play the Smoko. Okay, Dino Knight's actually a great 1 stood against mini target. He goes into Logos. Igor. Yeah, I think the chains... At this point, the chains are not really going to be an issue. He's going to be slightly stifled. Like, he's at, you know, he's got 24 cards left in the deck. The question is, does he Fangtooth my Smoko, or does he Fangtooth his Igor to keep me from getting an archive card? Quantum Finger Trap. Twin Bolt. Okay. I feel like that was a play mistake. I feel like he wanted to damage his own creatures there. Because now the Fangtooth is going to kill the Bramble Lynx. I think this is a Logos turn, because I'll get to Cyberclone a Murmook and then play the Q-Mex. Get a Champion of Naphiel in the yard. That's fine. Free Markets is 3. I think we go into Logos. We want the Q-Mex going. Since he's got the Fangtooth out, I'll just keep drawing cards with Q-Mex throughout the whole game. No in the archives. I am glad that we've got the Anaphiel in the archives. Ooh, Joya, that's good too. All right, we're gonna get a Murmook. I'm happy with Murmook's gone, because Murmooks are one of the primary Amber control devices in the deck. Binding Iron's me. Festering Touch, maybe to kill the Q-Mex. Plays an Enteroom. No, maybe no Infernus. Implies to me no Infernus. Could get an Exhume. Oh, exhumed Lilithal. Okay. Plays a fair game. Oh, he gained 5 off of a fair game. Not very fair. Wow. That's bad. um Not good. Okay. So we go into Sanctum. We will put the archives in my hand. We are gonna play Champion NFL. We're gonna play Barrister Joya. I am going to free markets. We'll get 4. Starlance, Logos, Dis, Untamed. Feels pretty good. Oh, I should play this Commandeer first. I don't think it'll matter. He's going to forge regardless. Play the Dino Knight. My guys are so... Dino Knight, we're not... So we're going to choose Commandeer. We'll put the Amber on Joya. We are not going to use Dino Knight's ability. We are going to 1-stood against Mini on the Dino Knight to fight the disc creatures off the board. Oh, that stupid Crucible interaction. Did not mean to capture onto... Okay, we'll play the Angry Mob. Capture onto Anaphil. So we'll let him forge for 7. We'll go to 11. Very possible repeat of the disc turn. Opts to go into Untamed. Unnatural Selection, yep. I wonder if tier 3s get around emote only. Because it should be emote only. Somehow Nihil's pay to win over there. Pay to win chat. He discarded Deepwood Dread. Because it'll die to the Fangtooth if he plays it. I wonder if he attacks the Murmook into the Champion Anaphil. He does not. Okay, so I forge for 8. I think we run back. Well, if I have Logos here, I can actually standardize testing and kill the Murmooks and then only lose the... I don't hate Logos here, because I'll get the Murmooks. The Exhume is gone. The Anaphil will lose a ward. And then it's like smooth sailing. Like, he can't tax me. He's got to use Infernus shenanigans. And I get deeper. I think we go with Logos. I kind of want to, like, it's real close to being a... we don't play this yet. We're going to Diametric Charge, so that way I don't accidentally kill my own... or actually damage my own creatures. Standardize. Yep. Okay. Pretty close to priced into a Sanctum turn here. Has he played both Unnaturals? He's played 1. Use the finger trap to kind of mess up my positioning. Ooh, Dr. Millie gets to archive his hand. Oh, okay, didn't have too many cards to archive there, though. So... What I got left? We got the chains, the effervescent principle left. Oh, we got the transporter platform stuff. Yeah, we got to take a sanctum turn here. I think I reap. Does he have the other? He could have the other Dr. Millie. Reap with Anomaly Exploiter on the table. We don't want to give him a free fight into an Affil to kill it. Archives is QMX, so no. I am going to reap with Joya. Fight Millie. Cleansing Wave. And I actually think I pitch these angry mobs. I think it is absolutely correct to pitch the angry mobs here. We're in Hysteria territory. Those angry mobs coming back to my hand is an absolute disaster. Okay. Oh, this is good. This is good. We wanted the red alert. We absolutely wanted the red alert there. Look, so he's conceding this key to me. That's great. That's another wonderful position to be in. He's going to get to archive 3 cards here with Millie. Maybe Crazy Killing Machine. I would, if I were him. Code Monkey on the Millie. Archive the Millie. VIPs and mods can get around it. Kills the Munchling. Okay. It's at 5. We'll forge this key. So we got the QMX there. I think we go into Star Alliance. Garcia, blast shielding, Garcia, blast shielding. Hold the red alert. Because I want the red alert for after he hysterias. And he like absolutely fills the board with disc creatures. Yeah. He's 1 Lilithal, 1 Eterum. So he's got a pile of discs and he's got a pile of He's sitting on just a load of creatures at this point. So we are going to go Star Alliance. We're going to play Garcia. No in the archives. I wish I could draw the rest of my deck this turn. Oh, it's so good. He can't kill the Garcia. Yes. We've engineered the board state that we want. Yes, I'll come to you first. That's fine. Take what you want. Purge the discard pile. It's cool. It's all gone. You got it. The discard pile's gone. We've managed to get him into the place that we want him in the game, right? We've got a ton of enhancements in our hand. We've got the Garcia, so we can force him to go high with the transporter platform to forge the key. Okay, we can stop him from forging the next turn. Okay, we'll red alert like all this stuff away. We will get to then play those enhancements, get some amber, get to draw cards, and then play Garcia again. So on the following turn, he's got to go super high to try to forge, and then we try to hit him with the effervescent and try to close out the game. Okay, plays the second Hysteria, or sorry, plays the second. Plays the second Hysteria. Only has one Infernus, but one of his bottom two cards must be the other Infernus then, right? Okay, so he played both Hysterias. Okay, yeah, he played both Hysterias, and okay, so this is actually pretty smart, right? He kept it down to just two creatures. That way, the red alert can't kill them all. So I wonder if I go into Sanctum here and I just fight them off the table. Oh, no. I don't stop him from forging. Yeah, we try to set up. We do exactly what I say. We'll go to Star Alliance. We are going to red alert still, I think. Actually, I wonder if we hang on to this red alert. Yeah, there's no reason for us to discard this red alert because the last two cards in our deck are Logos cards. So we're not going to get through the deck this turn. Our hand will be too full. No in the archives. Okay. Yes. Or if we red alert, Edorum dies if it fights into Garcia, which may be acceptable here. Garcia can die to the Fangtooth anyway. Very likely to be in a situation where one of Zinzik anyway. I think we have to go ahead and get rid of this red alert. He's sort of slightly incentivized to say dis here. Unless the very last card in his deck is the other Infernus, he might just fight Reap Infernus. At which point we effervescent. We probably discard this Infomorph, but we effervescent, Zinzi, Bot Bookton, and Q-Max. Maybe get to do something with the Q-Max. Maybe we'll draw something off the Q-Max. I'm really glad it discarded those angry mobs. Okay, priced back into dis. Okay, so he'll get Amber blown up here. That's fine. He's got to decide what to get rid of. He already got the Commandeer, and that makes sense. We're trying to hit big money cards like we want to hit like the Cleansing Wave or the Free Markets if we can. He could have opted to not fight there because now he's got to kill. I mean, he may want the Infernus and the. Okay, so we don't even lose an Amber to the Effervescent now. So we go Logos. We will take the Archives into the hand. going to play the QMX. We want to see what the card is. Angry Mob. That's not a bad target. We are going to Effervescent. We're going to play Zinzi. We're going to Bot Bookton. And we're done. We'll get 2 cards. Oh, no, we're not done. Discard this Infomorph. Yeah, in the turn. Draw up. Standardize Munchling. That's good. I'm very likely to just go into Logos over and over and over again to try to close out the game. I think he has to take an Untamed turn here. I think that's what he's got left in his deck. I think he's got a bunch of mediocre Untamed creatures. Yeah, I think he just has to play. It's like Unnatural Selection and a bunch of mediocre Logos creatures. Sorry, Untamed creatures. Both Murmooks are in the yard. He may have a Cauldron Boil, perhaps. The Standardized Testing's looking pretty good because it'll kill Lilithal and Feathered Shaman. Has to kill QMX. We go into Logos. Yep. We go into Logos. Yeah, we'll take the Archives into the hand. We start with a Standardized Testing. We reap with Zinzik. We reap with Bookton. We see where it goes. A Smoko. Okay, cool. Put it on the right. Play the Munchling. On the left. Play the QMX. Probably should have played the QMX first. Okay, we're done. We'll get to draw 2 off the Zinzik. If he ever gets in a situation where he wipes my board, I think we're creeping up on the W here. Telltale Vapors to draw. Thorium Plasmate would be pretty good. Ops Crazy Killing Machine. Oh, Cyberclone. Okay, so he does kill my Zinzik. Crazy Killing Machine. Plays an Igor. Okay. What's my discard pile like? No pips. That's what we like to see. Twin Bolt. Not great. Plays a Code Monkey, archiving those 2, getting 2. Okay. The Logos term is pretty good because it definitely leveled the playing field there. You can Nominal Exploit. He Nominal Exploited, I guess, Bot Bookton. Oh, yeah. He could have... that was a slight misplay on his part because he could have Thorium Plasmated first when I still had enough stuff. Okay, I think we go with Sanctum. Yeah, I think we go with Sanctum. He's actually purged some decent stuff out of his deck. I do I want to Angry Mob? I don't think I do. What's in my archives? A Tink and a QMX. I think they sit there. Could Could he be back around to the unnatural selection? He absolutely could have an unnatural selection. We get to smite. I can actually smite the Munchling like into the Code Monkey and discard the QMEX to gain an Amber. I don't know if that's enough. I've got some Starlight stuff. I think we go into Starlights. I think we try to close out the game here. And I can, yeah, I think we just gotta try to close out the game. Starlights could be back around to the Mermooks. No on the archives. I do not care about Tink. Take the archives in the hands. No. We'll start with the lay of the land. If we can hit a Observe You Max, yes. Okay, so the last card. So Forge Compiler, Angry Mob. Okay, so Observe You Max comes to the hand. We play the Stealthster. We Observe You Max it. We access denied it. We transporter platform. We play it as an upgrade this time. We don't want it to get we don't want it to get it returned to our hand with Hysteria. And then we, okay, puts us to 9. Infernus Hysteria. I have got 1 pip in the yard. He's got 2 pips in the yard. So Infernus Hysteria doesn't do it. I think we're golden there. Two Mermooks don't do it. Okay. Cutthroat Research doesn't do it. There's no other Amber Control and Logos. You have to have the Mermooks on the table ahead of time for the Cutthroat to stop you. So, the 2 Mermooks don't do it. He could have Exhume. Hysteria. It's 3 pips, right? Because he's got 2 in his. I've got 1 in my. Oh, he could bounce my Observe You Max. Okay. Okay. If he's got Exhume. Okay. He's got Exhume. Hysteria. Oh, he had both Infernuses. I'm at 6. Okay. Oh, he didn't have the Hysteria. GG. Yeah. Woo. Thought he had the Hysteria. He needed the Hysteria. The Hysteria there would bounce the Infernuses, and he had 1 extra pip to purge it. But yeah, incredible games. Round 1 of the KFPL in the books. So 6 isn't 5. You have to cut through. Yeah, yeah. I won the game and the time went up or went out. So So, great stuff. Off to I knew it was going to be close. So yeah, 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 yeah. Just one hysteria would have done it. Yep, yep, yeah. That makes sense. The chains made the difference there, right? He had 5 cards to hit Infernus. He Doctor Millied early in the game, right, and got to archive stuff. So he didn't want to use Crazy Killing Machine because he could have. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So the chains made the difference there. Yeah, it's true. I did not shuffle twice. Now I was trying to set up the effervescent stuff. Um, I knew he had the like. I knew he had to have had the one Infernus at one point. So. Yeah, like you said, when that's the problem with Ardreth is like when your opponent doesn't have any pips in the yard, um, you know, it's easy to get to a place where you can't actually stop the opponent with Infernuses. Um, so yeah, that's a good. I feel like that's a good start to the league. I'll take my wins where I can in this matchup. So I was trying to play around Infernus the whole game, and he just didn't have Infernus, right? So that makes it really easy to play around Infernus when your opponent doesn't draw into it. So his deck is Fair Game, Eterome, 2 Hysterios, Thorium Plasmate, Culture Boiled, Murmook, and Rustnar. So, okay. That is going to do it for the morning stream. I will be back in roughly 6 hours. I will keep an eye out in the Discord. I'll probably start 6:45 or so after I've eaten dinner. Sorry, I should say, Eastern time. So should have went for the crazy kill. Entomb magic cards. Yeah, I mean, you have to you just have to take a gamble with Ardreth sometimes, right? You have to like play, and I think that's like playing against type for a lot of Keyforge players. You've got the players who like Wild Wormhole is their favorite card, and then you got the players who are like Wild Wormhole is an awful card. So yeah. Um, yeah, like you said, there was some stuff in the first game that definitely helped. So Titans Oak, thanks for hanging out. Um, yeah, exactly, right. Like, you're gambling with Wild Wormhole, but oftentimes you're not gambling as hard as you think you are, right? So yeah, and that was the thing with the angry mobs is that I think the angry mobs are actually probably not great in this matchup, unless you were hitting cleansing waves. But I just don't think Ardreth just doesn't really let you expand the board wide enough to get the cleansing wave off. Um, so yeah, it's one match a week. Match being three best of three. It's an adaptive. So stupid trap. Oh, he fell for. Oh, yeah, chained. Seems like he chained himself. Oh, he left. Okay. Yeah. So, that's it. Yeah, Justin's planning on streaming his. It's going to be Tuesday night, 6 o'clock our time. Yes, 6 o'clock our time. That's normally one of our off nights, but he'll be streaming that. So yeah, mailing the Gruins. Did you get one of the Vault Tour Gruins? Not tonight. Thanks for hanging out again, Archer. Just won the almost prize. Last chance qualifier. Okay, I got you. Cool. That's cool. The 17th place. Frant, thanks for hanging on again. Yeah, who knows if we'll ever see those Gruins again, right? At this point. Yeah. I'll be back later tonight. I believe I have stalled this ending as long as I can. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. I'm glad Ardreth was able to redeem itself. In my eyes, as an adaptive deck, if not an Archon deck. Lots of intricacies in the deck, and sometimes you got to get lucky with it. So George did hit that sick a fair game early in that game, right? He hit that fair game for 5, I think. That gave him the first key, and I had no clear answers for it. Right, went up to 12. Basically, got to forge 2 keys off of it shortly. Pretty swiftly after that, I should say. So, yeah. Um, Thanks, not tonight. Yeah. I always feel like it's like stream of consciousness stuff. I don't like finish sentences and whatever. I just am like flowing into the next thought as I'm going. So glad that people don't mind listening to an old man ramble at card games. So appreciate everybody hanging out. Wait, you know what? We will do some outro music. We're gonna pick something. Let's see if we can find something that isn't something that won't get us DMCA'd. Let's go out with All right. So, appreciate you, Rickroll. Never gonna give you up, chat. All right, and I will see you guys.
Twisted